Dr. Marks,
Present.
Ms. D. Ray,
Present.
Ms. Ratcliffe,
Present.
Dr. Martin McCoy,
Present.
Ms. McDonald, Ms. Mobley, Ms. Thomas,
Present.
you have a quorum.
All right. And I found my agenda, so thank you. All right. Next, we have approval of today's agenda. So if anybody has any changes or additions, please let us know. Otherwise, may I have a motion to approve today's agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve today's agenda.
This is Audrey. I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda is approved. I will pass it over to Dr. Martin McCoy now for a report from the Governance Committee.
Good evening, everyone, and it's good to see as many smiling faces here this evening as possible, knowing that most of us have gone through some wintry weather. I'm Audrey Martin McCoy, and I'm here to represent the Governance Committee. We have one action item tonight, and that's the NCCA 2023 audit report that will be presented by Dr. Mullins and our representatives from RH Accounting. Dr. Mullins, I'll hand you the floor.
Hey, and I'm sorry, Dr. Martin McCoy, and I think just for clarity, then that probably should say, Matthew, correct me if I'm wrong, 24-25 audit report.
Correct.
Okay.
And so we'll make that little change. But anyhow, Matthew's team, Matthew Finney, is with RH Accounting. And I think, Matthew, this is the 6th year y'all have helped us with the audit or provided the audit for us, the external audit. And we'll just turn it over to Matthew. I think he has a presentation, and then I know he'll take questions at the end. I believe that's how he normally does it. So, Matthew, I'm going to just turn it over to you if it's okay. And,
Well, thank you.
do you have screen rights to share, or you don't need
Looks
to
like
share?
it. Let's see here. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So just going over the status of the audit. Fieldwork's been completed and the financial statements have been issued. We issued those financial statements in December, so those have been sent over to NCDPI. All objectives, auditor independence, and that's just as the independent auditor, we have to maintain objectivity and be unbiased in order to render an opinion. So then we plan our audit to obtain an understanding of an internal controls over key areas. So that's just understanding processes and procedures related to things such as revenues, assets, and whatnot. And then we perform risk assessment, which is a risk-based audit approach, which is basically just making sure, just going through and identifying those areas that might be higher risk and whatnot, and seeing what procedures need to be done. And the reason we do this risk-based approach is because we don't come in and audit 100% of everything. If we were to do that, it would take a much longer time. So it's that risk-based audit approach in order to issue an opinion of reasonable assurance. So then we perform those audit procedures after we've gone through our risk assessment to obtain that sufficient evidence to render an opinion. And again, that opinion concentrates on whether the financials are free from material misstatement or provide reasonable assurance. So it's an absolute assurance. It's reasonable, which is, again, going back to that sort of risk-based approach. Then we also perform a state single audit over state public school funding compliance requirements, and then a federal single audit over federal major programs, and this year was Title I. So scope and timing, kind of mentioned the programs that we audited as far as single audit goes. Mentioned that the audit was issued back in December. I think we're presenting a little bit later than usual. And so the audit was a little bit later than usual, and that was just due to OMB, the OMB compliance supplement. So with that federal funding, we have to perform that federal single audit, and the OMB compliance supplement was a lot later this year. And part of that was also due to the federal government shutdown. So I think the OMB compliance supplement came out like a day or two before Thanksgiving. So then we rendered our opinions on the basic financial statements, those major programs that were tested, and had an unmodified opinion. That is a clean opinion. That the financial statements are, in our opinion, the financial statements are materially stated. So, and there were no compliance findings. No accounting policy changes this year. Overall estimates appeared reasonable. No difficulties encountered outside of kind of what I mentioned with OMB, which is a little bit different. No disagreements with management. We always really appreciate your team's help and whatnot to get through the audit. I know it's a long and tedious process, and I don't think there were any major other matters to discuss because I kind of already went into the OMB portion. So then just going into some of the accounting measurements, revenue and expense summary, you can see the year-over-year change, pretty consistent. I think the expenditures went up a little bit more this year and related to some increases in salary expense, and then also capital outlay. I think there were some computer purchases, laptop purchases this year. So here we have fund balance year over year. You can see a pretty steady upward trend with the exception of 2023. And I think 2023 was mostly related to timing. If I remember correctly, there was just a large expense right at year end, but a pretty steady growth year over year. Next, we have the adequacy of resources cash on hand. Looking year over year. And this one, you'll see that 2025 went way down from 2024, and that's not necessarily a bad thing with this. And the reason for that is the dip there is really related to investments that were purchased this year. So the change there is related to those. And you could include short-term investments in this calculation. I remember last year someone asked me, I don't remember who asked me, but I remember last year someone asking me what a good sort of ratio here was. And maybe my answer wasn't the greatest because I've been thinking about that actually. It depends on the industry. So I don't remember what answer I gave last year, but if you were to go and Google it right afterwards, you would have gotten a different answer. For a charter school, I think 57 is pretty strong. And like I said, if you were to include certain short-term investments, certain highly liquid, it would be slightly higher, but opted to go with just cash and cash equivalents here just to show that it's still, even after those investment purchases, your overall just straight cash is still pretty good there. And this is how many days you'd be able to go without having sort of any cash coming in to pay for different expenses and liabilities and things like that. So 57 days. Then next we have the working capital ratio, and for 2025 that's 7.43, which for 2024 was 7.14, so still pretty consistent and way up from 2023 and up a little bit from 2022. And so that's just your current liabilities as compared to your current assets as compared to your current liabilities. So next we have the revenue breakdowns for 2025 and 2024. If you're looking at the sort of pie chart, and then this is for 2024, you'll see that the allocation between state, county, and federal funding is pretty consistent. There's a little bit more in the other category this year, but overall, the state makes up the largest portion of this, and then county, the boards of education, and then that federal funding. And then next we'll go into expenditure breakdown from 2025 and 2024. You'll see again the percentages and the allocations between those is still pretty consistent overall. The one difference with 2025 is you'll see this year there's the 1% related to capital outlay that wasn't there that last year, which was around 300,000, 400,000 in new computers, laptops, and whatnot, I believe it was. But overall, relatively consistent from year to year. So again, just some of the major takeaways: unmodified opinion, clean opinion. We had no findings, no compliance findings. Overall financial condition, general fund balance increased by 3,446,044, and then end of year general fund balance was 9,805,099, and then we had no disagreements with management. So pretty quick, short, sweet. Any questions on the audit presentation?
I have a couple, but I'll let the team ask first.
I have a quick question. Earlier in page 1, you mentioned that you've done other procedures, but I see the report that is attached only is financial. So are there, is the report, other aspects of it that's there, or just mainly concentrated on financial statements accuracy?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
Part of the report presentation right now was mentioned that you've audited risk-based audit approach and audited procedures, but the detailed report that I'm seeing is based on financial statements. Is there a separate addendum, or is the audit was completely based on for financial accuracy?
So the audits overall for the basic financial statements, along with those single audits for the compliance side of things. So we have the audit report that accompanies the financial statements where we render an opinion on the financial statements. And then we also have an additional audit report for our opinion over compliance for the different major programs. And there were no findings within any of those. So
Okay,
we did have a
so
financial statement audit as well as a compliance audit. And if you're looking like at the full audit, the financial statement draft, then you'll see at the beginning we have the report for the financial statements, and then later towards the back is where the compliance section is and where you'll find the report related to those major programs.
Any other questions? And I apologize if I missed this, but like the graph on page 8 or slide 8 of the fund balance going from 1.7 million in 2023 to 9.8 million in 2025. Can you explain that to me? Why we have an $8 million increase in our fund balance over 2 years?
Yep. So going back to slide 7, you'll see sort of the difference between revenues and expenditures, and you'll in 24 and 25 you had a lot more revenue as compared to expenditures, and that increase is related to the difference there.
Okay.
So it's just that, and it was actually less of an increase this year, and that's because the salary expense went up, and you had some of that capital outlay with those laptops and whatnot, but that's just the difference between revenues and expenditures for the year. And
Okay.
Dr. Marks.
Yes, sir.
And also we did an audit, not this kind of audit, but we did an internal audit of our programs and and things we were using for instructional tools.
Mm-hmm.
And we reduced the amount because we had so many different resources, and some were being used, some were not being used. So we had purchased a program so we could log in all of our instructional tools and operational tools, and the different stakeholders within NCCA would have to sign off on it. And so we had a reduction in some of those instructional expenditures and operational expenditures.
Okay, that's helpful. And what, trying to think, like, so the fund balance of 9.8 million. Oh, let me just think about that a little bit more. I guess the big question in my head was like, what are we doing with that balance? I mean, I know that there's obviously going forward revenues and expenditures, but it's continuing to increase. So is that, I mean, is the right way to think of the fund balance as kind of like surplus? Is the balance left over after the end of the year? In which case, what is that money used for? And just pure caveat, I am not at all familiar with finance, so just speak to me as if I'm in elementary school.
Right. So it's kind of fund balance is kind of like if you've seen financial statements for uh, a for-profit company or whatnot, then another term for it would be retained earnings, which is
Okay.
just the amount of earnings year over year. And so you expect it to increase most of the time because obviously you're aiming to have more revenues than expenditures. And so it is a very large increase from year to year.
Yeah.
I know y'all have a good portion of federal funding. I don't think, if I remember correctly, back in those earlier years represented on this graph, I don't think y'all had as much federal funding as you do now. And so that's another reason because y'all expend that money first because it has to be expended within that year. And typically all federal funding for the year is expended by the end of the year. And so a big reason for those gains year over year, increases in fund balance year over year is related to those federal monies that are coming in, allowing you to save more of your sort of local money.
Okay. And more for like Dr. Mullins, I mean, is that the money we would draw from to give pay increases or performance bonuses, or is that, I guess still, I'm not quite sure what happens with the $9 million.
Yes, ma'am. So that 9.8 million, a couple of points here. One is we know that we've looked at our facility, and Mr. Hill and I knew that there's probably going to be some cost increases with the facility because we've
Okay.
gone from 85 employees to over 200.
Yeah.
We can't even meet in the current structure as a whole group. We have to rent another vendor,
Okay.
another facility to have those meetings. But also, Mr. Hill has been working on the idea of regional sites for the various regions across the state, so that when parents and students and teachers would have a common place to go in each region to tutor or provide instruction or have meetings. So, we know that we needed to increase our fund balance to be able to make those things happen. And then we haven't increased the salary because we're kind of on our salaries. And I mentioned this to I think it was our finance committee, looking at what are we going to do to increase salaries retroactive this year because the state has still not approved the budget. But so that number is going to go down. And the last point I'll make is, if the board remembers, we voted for a budget that was pretty much a net zero budget this year for revenue versus expenditure. So we know we don't need to keep climbing, but we still want to have enough funding to be able to hopefully be able to do some of these things that we have visions to do with these regional sites and other things.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you so much. Okay. That concludes my questions.
And Dr. Marks, I'll also provide two other points. A couple of years ago, the legislature changed the funding formula for virtual charters. At one point, we were capped with regards to the amount of money, the amount of local revenue that we would receive. We were capped at a per pupil amount tied to the lowest local revenue. I believe that one time it was Robinson County. So
Wow.
if a child came from Charlotte, Mecklenburg, or Robinson, we received $150 for that child. Now the money actually follows the child, whatever the local expense per student in Charlotte, that money is then transferred to us. Whether you're talking about Charlotte or Wake or some of the larger school districts from where we enroll many of our kids, we're receiving a commensurate amount of revenue. The second point, you may recall a couple of years ago, I believe the day of the beginning of our school year, the DPI told us that we could not enroll a certain number of kids and receive funding from them even after we had already informed the parents. And so we frankly have to be mindful of the market, both in terms of recruiting students and what political actors at the state and the federal level may act that will implement our ability to draw down funds.
Okay. That's really helpful. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yes, that was extremely helpful because I was going to follow up with just that question, Mr. Hill and Attorney Martin, what I saw in the chat. So thank you. That was very helpful.
Okay.
One quick question. I'm sure we'll come to the statements later. Is this in the chart here for other funding besides the federal and the state and the local? That's not there in this current year, right? Or is it continuing?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
This is for Dr. Mullins. So if you go back to the chart where there was a pie chart from revenues, right here. So there was a 1% from others besides state, local, and federal. So do not have that this year, or do we continue to have that 1% this year?
Yeah, well, the other, I think, Matthew, the other would be is other fines and forfeitures, or others would be I'm not sure why we wouldn't have others in the 20. Well, it's the 25. So this upcoming school year, we would have some others. But I want to, for clarity, Matthew, is others, does that include fines and forfeitures, or is that county?
I think it might include some fines and forfeitures. 2024 even did have a little bit of other. I think there's like 24,000 in other in 2024, and 2025 was around 270,000 as compared to the 27 million in revenues. So it's just miscellaneous things. I don't remember everything that makes up that amount.
Yeah. Part of it's grants. Part of it would be grants that are outside of state or federal grants as well that we've accumulated or we were awarded. So we will continue to apply for grants, but you don't know if you can get them. But that's a very low amount of revenue each year. But it's grants, fines, and forfeitures and misdemeanors.
Okay, thank you.
As long as we're clarifying terms. Can you explain to me what debt service is and expenditure breakdown?
So debt service is typically related to loans is the most common thing, but here it's primarily related to leases. So it's related to the office space lease.
Okay, perfect. All right. Feel very knowledgeable now. Thank you so much.
I have one question only because I know absolutely very little about this. As Dr. Mark said, treat her like she's in elementary, treat me like I'm in kindergarten. So Dr. Mullins, you were talking about fines and forfeitures. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, so from each county through the court system, clients, I guess is not the best word, but folks have to get in, folks that maybe get in a little bit of trouble, they have to pay fines and forfeitures, or through various actions, there's fines and forfeitures that are levied by the county judicial system, and then by law we get part of that funding. that the courts take in each year from the various counties. So we'll get a check from various counties for fines and forfeitures throughout the school year.
Okay, that makes sense. So is that, just curious, is that every school district?
Every county and then every charter school, we get fines and forfeitures. So if if there's been any revenue or equity forfeited and sold off or whatever it may be, whatever that forfeiture is, it's registered with the each county's clerk of court, and then the various LEAs and charters in that county would get a portion of that revenue or that fine or forfeiture.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Now, the second question is, it would only be in the county that we are located in, which is Durham County, if I'm correct.
That's a good question because we have kids in 90 some counties. So my understanding was we get I don't know if it's the physical building or if it's does the money follow the students, and I'll try to find that out, Miss Ratcliffe. I was thinking we got fines and forfeitures from a number of counties, not just Durham County.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Dr. Martin McCoy, back to you.
Yes. Yes, thank you. This has been very educational, I think, for all of us. So thank you so very much for the presentation, Mr. Finney, and also Dr. Mullins for indulging us in our questions there. Before we let go, are there any other questions or comments from any of the board members?
No,
I'm
I
just
agree.
curious. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
One just quick question. So I believe earlier it was mentioned that last year it was delayed because of federal shutdowns or whatever, the OMB report. So this year, what is the general timeline for this audit again? Are we doing this every year, right? For financial statements accuracy?
Right. So we do it every year. Generally, I think we start in August, September, and the deadline is end of October, with a potential grace period through November, depending on a couple of things. That's normally automatic. It depends on whether or not our charter school is up for charter renewal. And I know that's a little bit different for you all being a virtual charter school. So the timeline, hopefully the audit will be wrapped up towards the end of October this coming year, and assuming no issues again with that compliance supplement coming out, because we cannot issue the financial statements until that compliance supplement's released if we have to complete a federal single audit. And the federal single audit this year will change slightly. I imagine it wouldn't really impact you all too much. The threshold for whether or not a federal single audit is required previously was if there were expenditures of 750,000. This coming year, it's been up to $1 million, but I know y'all had about close to $2.5 million in federal expenditures related to federal funding this past year. So I'd imagine y'all still require a federal single audit.
So this OMB report is expected to be received from the government, right? From the federal government? Am I understanding it correct? Sorry.
Correct.
Okay.
It's basically that's the compliance supplement that tells us what procedures we need to be performing over various federal programs. So it's pretty in-depth going over all the different types of federal grants. So there's quite a number of them.
Just out of curiosity, because we received in January, were we compliant in timely filing of the reports? Because I believe the statements may be needed to file our annual statements. Was there any impact of the report being issued in January or December? Sorry.
It was slightly late for December. There was some miscommunication there with NCDPI. I think the deadline ended up being moved to December the 19th, and it was issued on December 24th. So December 19th was a Friday. I think it was issued the following Tuesday.
was that any impact for NCCA? Anything of the delay because of the delay?
No, ma'am. So, Ms. Thomas, what we did is we provided the final audit in the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. They acknowledged they received it. And then since then, Matthew Finney has put it in the clearinghouse, that we're required to put it in the clearinghouse, submitting the audit. And then I'll go, once that has cleared on his end, then I will verify the audit. Matthew hadn't cleared yet. It normally takes a little bit of time for it to clear. I've checked it today, but once it clears on Matthew's end, then I will submit I will verify the audit in the clearinghouse, and that's the last step we have to do. But the audit has been submitted to DPI, their finance and business office there.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're not getting into trouble for late filing. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Ms. Ratcliffe, did you have a follow-up question?
I did not have a follow-up question. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for the presentation. This has been very interesting. This is the first time I have been on this end of it. And so I'm learning a lot. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As you know, this is an action item, so I would like to receive a motion regarding the acceptance of the 2024 audit report. May I get a motion?
This is Dee, so moved.
All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, may I get a second?
This is Jennifer. I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion carries. Thank you so very much again, Mr. Finney and Dr. Mullins. Our next item is the school year 26-27 draft district calendar to be presented by Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am. Board members, the calendar should look quite similar to you. The proposed calendar for next school year is different in a couple of regards. One is we're proposing 176 instructional days versus 172 this year. The first day of school next year would be Tuesday, August the 11th. We've started on Tuesday before, and it worked out very well in that it allows both the staff and the students to transition. We spend the day before students start on Tuesday, ensuring that staff are up to speed on their technology, and we're giving them an opportunity to interact with each other and prep everything before the students come on. The week before school starts, we're proposing a week of staff training to make sure our teachers and our staff are given the necessary training to ensure they have the capacity to effectively teach and improve learning. We have a 2-week winter break at the end of the first semester. The last day of school, again, is prior to Memorial Day on May 21. The graduation ceremony will be in Raleigh this year. You may recall that we've experimented with having the graduation in Greensboro, trying to move the graduation further west on one occasion and then back east on another occasion. We found that the McKimmon Center in Raleigh is really the best place so far to hold these types of graduations. We've noticed that the attendance, both with regards to the number and the diversity of families from around the state, is negligible in terms of the difference. But we've found that the McKimmon Center gives us a lot more flexibility with regards to allowing people to congregate and take pictures before and after the ceremony, and in some instances that give us a lot more space to celebrate and hang out, and maybe even have cake and cookies and a food truck after the graduation. And I think that has proven to be quite positive and received well from our families. You'll see that teacher work days are distributed across the school year, primarily after each quarter. It allows us to review the performance of the quarter and to prepare for the ensuing quarter. And you also notice that there is a monthly break to allow our teachers to reflect and to recharge as they are traversing the journey of educating our children throughout the school year. So those are the major high points with regards to the 26-27 proposed calendar. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
I have a quick question, and it's really absolutely doesn't mean anything personally. But I just wanted to see graduation during the week. Well, I'll preface it first by saying if someone wants to attend a graduation, they're going to make a plan to attend the graduation, in my opinion. Secondly, when I think about that, it's easier sometimes to attend a graduation on a weekend versus during the week. And so I'm wondering what has been your history in the past?
So in the past, we've primarily held the graduation on a weekday. This, correct me if I'm wrong, staff, and recently we had the graduation in Greensboro on the weekend. But one of the challenges of having the graduation in Raleigh on the weekend is the availability of a venue. So we tested the idea of having the graduation on the weekend versus having it on a weekday, and we made some assumptions as well, thinking maybe more folks would avail themselves of the opportunity, but the attendance really was not that different between having it on a Thursday versus a Saturday, or having it in Raleigh versus having it in Greensboro. So just trying to weigh the various factors and how to connect and make it accessible to as many families as possible.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I had the opportunity and was honored to be able to speak at the graduation this past year. And that was awesome, but I just didn't know how that compared to the previous years in Raleigh. And again, if a graduation is important, you'll be there for it. And so I guess I just wanted to see what the history has been when it's come to that. So thank you.
I think another interesting, I'm sorry.
We're competing against or competing with other K-12 schools or other public schools, as well as trying to vie for space that colleges and community colleges are using as well for graduation purposes. Dr. McCoy,
Right.
sorry.
Yes, exactly. And then we're also competing with the Memorial Day holiday as well. Oftentimes
Yes.
it can be very difficult to pull folks away on
Yes.
perhaps that Saturday if you've got that Memorial Day holiday on that Monday. So yes.
Yeah.
So any other questions or comments in regards to the calendar?
Just talk about, just curious, was there ever a polling done with the parents, or, if there was a choice of weekends versus weekdays? To encourage attendance, I guess. Just curious.
I know our high school is constantly touching base with their teachers as well as with the parents, and that's one reason why we had tried the West versus East experiment, and why we tried Thursday versus Saturday. And based on the experiment, we're finding that having a graduation in Raleigh on that weekday, when you weigh all the pros and cons and the trade-offs, you end up where we're proposing, which is the Thursday in Raleigh.
Thank you for that. Yes.
If there are no other comments or questions, this concludes the Governance Committee report. And Dr. Marks, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Martin McCoy. We have the Academic Excellence Committee up next, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Mr. Hill.
So we have a few information items. One, we have proposed to have an all-staff meeting this Friday. And if you open the attachments, what you'll see are a list of training sessions that would be offered by the North Carolina Cyber Academy staff to their colleagues. When we held meetings in the past, one of the really good feedback that we received is the staff want to hear from each other. We have excellent staff who are experts in many areas, from using AI to improve teaching and learning, to engaging special needs students, to using MTSS to improve attendance. So you'll see a list of the various offerings, and you'll also see the ranking of these various sessions based on a poll of our teachers regarding which of these sessions they would like to attend. We are, however, going to postpone this meeting until sometime in the future because of a concern about inclement weather. As I understand, a winter storm, a snowstorm is coming again, as this past weekend and the past weekend demonstrated. So out of an abundance of caution, we want to ensure, because our staff are coming from so many parts of the state, that everyone will be safe. And so, we are going to be looking for another time between now and the end of school to hold an in-person meeting. We had begun the culture of having two in-person all-day meetings, one at the beginning of the school year and one sometime during the second semester. We hope that we're going to be able to find a day, but if we can't find a day to hold an in-person meeting, we'll at a minimum have a virtual all-day all staff meeting. So I wanted you to see what we've been discussing, and how we are going to continue to try to build the capacity of our staff. We ask for outside expertise, but we also know that we have some excellent folks on staff who talk to each other, and it's great for them to actually be able to come together and socialize and support each other.
Very nice. I think that it's, I really like that idea. The wisdom is in the room often. You've got some of the best and brightest there, those teachers and staff members who can lean on each other during that time. So thank you for that. I did have a question just in our previous conversation about the draft district calendar. Should these types of all staff district days be included on that calendar in the future?
So we have an internal and an external calendar, and what you are looking at today is the external calendar. We can definitely ensure in any way that we communicate internally and to the board that these types of staff development days are specifically highlighted.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
That'll be great. Are we as board members invited to attend any of these all staff district days, or maybe just part of the day just to kind of observe or participate?
Yes, you're always welcome. So I think one reason I want to bring this to everybody's attention is if you actually have the time, then yeah, please include it on your calendar, and I'll make sure that we communicate the new day early, and I'll ensure to communicate whether it is in person or virtual. So whether it's in person or virtual, you are more than welcome to attend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Martin McCoy, I had the same question, and unfortunately, and I'm really glad that the date's been changed because I had a time I'm not able to attend, but I am looking forward to attending. I was wanting to show support for the staff to the school, and to our principals, and I just think that the interaction of the board with our staff and our principals, I think that's important. I think they would feel happy to see us take some kind of action. And so I was wanting to do that in advance as well. So thank you.
That's a wonderful point, Ms. Radcliffe. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. Oh, it's still, I believe, with you, Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am, and board members. At a prior meeting, the board approved changes to the district handbook that directly address our policy of cameras being on and engagement. So if you open the 3-page document, we have included section 3, school engagement and attendance of the student handbook. On the second page, bullet number 3 clarifies what the policy requirements are, given the board's discussion. So I'll just read it. Students are required to have their cameras enabled for the duration of live learning sessions. There were some conversations about whether exceptions should be granted. So exceptions may be granted at the discretion of the school administration. So there were some discussion about the discretion being given to a teacher. We want to acknowledge that in some instances, discretion needs to be granted, but it needs to be at the behest of the school administration. And just think about a student who is in the high school and is attending 4 courses, and if in course number 1 that child is given an exception to keep his camera off, and in course number 2 the child has the camera on, and they could flip-flop between the teachers, and we want to have some consistency and establish a clear culture and expectations for the camera being on. And it's at the administrative level that that decision should be made, we believe. There were questions regarding the provision of digital backgrounds if we're requiring that the cameras be on. And so we're saying the school will provide approved digital backgrounds for student use, and with prior approval from the school administration, the student may substitute an alternative digital background, provided it is appropriate for the school setting and does not distract from instruction. So the board approved the concept with regards to there being an exception to the camera being on and ensuring that we provide a digital background. But because we're providing specific language, it may be your discretion to ask for a motion to approve this specific language.
Well, actually, Superintendent Hill, the motion that was approved at the last meeting approved the policy with the directive that that language be added. So this would be just for information so board members can see the language that reflect your actual motion and for the actual document, that's the completed document to be in your materials.
Thank
So if
you.
you wanted to change something, you need to modify the previous motion that you adopted. But this is designed to be just for your information to see that the school incorporated what you wanted.
Thanks. Does anybody have any proposed changes or questions to the verbiage?
The only question that I had is in the second sentence. Should it say at the discretion of the school administration or discretion of school administration? But other than that, I think I'm fine with it, and I can go either way.
I'll go with Dr. McCoy's grammar, and you have that PhD and you're a wonderful writer, so you know.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate having the school administration kind of oversee whatever kinds of changes or exceptions, because having it at that administrative level does make it more consistent and more helpful. And even if that administrator notices that there are patterns for a particular student, that's helpful too. So
I
I'm
agree.
very much in agreement.
Yes, I just had a question, and it's for informational purposes, literally. The way I interpret this is that when a student attends a class, they turn their camera on, but if they prefer not to use a digital background, and I'll just say, for instance, Dr. Martin McCoy doesn't have a background. She's got her room that she is in. My daughter, when she logs in, you see the background of her room. The way this is worded almost makes it sound as though you either use a digital background that is approved by the school, or you can't use anything else, meaning that you can't see what they have. So, in other words, Dr. Martin McCoy would, in other words, be doing something wrong. And so I guess it's the clarification of that. Does that make sense?
So
Are
are
you
you-
suggesting that we add the phrase if a student chooses to use a digital background, the school will provide?
Yeah, I actually
Well,
think that's a great point. I mean,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
no, well, go ahead, Dr. Marks.
I was just saying, yeah, I hadn't thought of that, and I think that would be useful to say. I don't know if we want, say that options are no digital background, the one provided by NCCA, or with approval, a substitute alternative background. I think if I read this, I would have interpreted it as I would have either had to use NCCA or a different one.
Yeah, and I don't want to take that away from students. Sometimes that's I don't know, sometimes it gives them their individuality. And a lot of times we get to know people through their digital backgrounds or through whatever they use as their background. They might have a poster on the back, and another student might say, "Oh, wow, I didn't know you liked this group." And so that can draw some connections. I'm just thinking outside the box. That's all.
And I would like to get clarification from the way the language is written. The school is saying, we're going to provide you a digital background. And if you want something different than what the school provides, you can request approval for that. Are you saying that you want to change the language, or you would like to consider changing the language such that they could use their own background that's not digital at all?
Yeah, like no digital background. Or was that discussed as something we don't want? Or do we want everybody to use a digital background? I just realized I made that comment, but don't know if that was like a discussion.
This
Well-
looks like it's noted later. It says if students desire to use a digital background, the digital background shall be in compliance with the student code of conduct. So I would read that to see it as optional.
Okay, so we could just make that change in that. In this bullet point, to be clear.
What is it
Okay.
that you want? You want students to have all of this is only about a digital background. So there's no option to have something that's not digital.
Right. So Ms. Ray was saying that the third to last bullet does say if students desire. So I just thought we could add that if students desire to have a digital background, the school will provide yada yada. So it's consistent.
So we need to combine the third bullet with the amended language. So the third bullet from the top and the third bullet from the
Yeah,
bottom
exactly.
need to be combined. So if students desire to use a digital background, so based on this bullet, we're not requiring a student to use a digital background.
Right.
So if someone
Right. That
wanted
makes
to
sense.
blur their background similar to
Yeah.
how my background is blurred, then they would be within their rights based on our policy. But we want to ensure whether it's a digital background or a non-digital background, it has to comply with the student code of conduct and cannot be disruptive in any
Right,
way.
right. That's another point, because there have been, I haven't seen any issues, but I'm sure there could be issues where that might occur, that it would not be appropriate.
Sorry to make this complicated, because should it also that or is saying compliant with student code of conduct an umbrella to cover this? The idea that a teacher can request that a student turn on a digital background or use the digital background if their background is distracting. I assume that's what's in the student code of conduct, so we don't need to say it explicitly.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Did Ms.
So-
Thomas has raised her hand?
Oh, sorry, please.
Yeah, I was just curious. I thought we talked about in the last discussion about privacy concerns for families, and as a result, I believe it was agreed that we should include a requirement for digital background, but I don't 100% remember how we settled, and that was one of the concerns that was discussed about privacy by if the student is not putting a digital background. So maybe from a legal perspective, I don't know if there are any concerns, or is there an expectation to cover privacy if it is, I'll leave it to the experts, if it is not there, right?
The notes I had is that you all had required, like your discussion was that there be a digital background because of the privacy concerns.
Right. And so if we are saying if students desire to use a digital background, are we saying their own digital background? So we are in a sense requiring a digital background. And if the third from the bottom is if they desire to use their own digital background, that's when it should be in compliance with code of conduct, right? That's just to clarify the language.
I actually think it's written now as the third from the bottom, as if they have the option not to use a digital background. And I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying, Attorney Martin. Almost called you Attorney Martin McCoy. So yes, I think, okay, so that we just need to make a decision about that. Yeah, and I can see Miss Ratcliffe's point because I've had those experiences too, where, you know, people resonate with, yeah, with somebody's personal non-digital background, but that might be secondary to just having uniformity. I don't know. The privacy thing to me is the fact that NCCA is providing one. So if there is concerns around privacy, there's an option for that. But can you give me an example of a privacy concern that's like not
But-
generated by the student or the family?
The only question I have is, as long as they're using a background, I mean, I'm not sure what the distinction between a digital background and a background.
Sorry, I didn't mean a
is-
background. I just meant the room, like their room. No background.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure. Again, this is a corporate environment. You know, there's different roles for state. At least in Boston, Massachusetts had its own state laws for privacy, what you can disclose and what you can share and all of that. So in this case, if it's the student and the teacher, so I believe the discussion we had was if something's happening in the background other than what's in the house, is it okay? I thought we discussed about this in the last meeting. Is it okay for the teacher to view and all of that? If not, you know, we don't want to see that, or if there are any other privacy concerns in a corporate world, capturing information because of, you know, or other people seeing that they should not see. That's, I believe we discussed and decided on requiring the background, but then again, I'm leaving it up. I'm fine with Dr. Ratcliffe's or opinion about sharing their personality, but still there is a background when they do a personality thing. So I'm just pointing out, whatever we decide, we just need to make sure if there are any language put in there that need to be saying that, hey, if the student if there is no digital background or any background, whether the school would be liable for any information that's being disclosed or not, or it's a good thing, or it could be both positive and negative, right? So it's just, again, I'm just leaving it to the experts to make sure we put a pin in there or make note of it since we're documenting and we're being very particular about how we're documenting. I just want to make sure that's clarified in the documentation of, you know, whatever we say.
Yeah.
Attorney Martin, do you have, I know you were just referencing the notes. It seems like the best path forward is probably just, because we already voted. So we need to probably just make sure this policy completely aligns with the vote from last time. I don't know if you have it handy what the vote was, but I do remember as well that we voted that the background would be required. So we would need to change the language in the third bullet from the bottom to align to that. And then we also, I believe what we voted for was that teachers would be able to say they don't have to have it or to grant the exception. So if we did change it to be principals or administration, do we need to re-vote on that, I guess, is my question, since this doesn't align to what we voted on? Or does it just need to be changed to really align to exactly what we voted on?
To be
Or option
consistent-
C, do we agree on what we voted on?
Yeah, do we like what we voted on?
Yes, I think that we need to make sure of that. May I, does anybody have an issue with proceeding with what Ms. Ray just outlined with what we voted on?
Just for my clarification, because there are a couple of things, a couple of thoughts that came to mind for me too with the privacy kind of issue. I'm in favor of kind of re-voting because I'm seeing things a little bit differently.
Okay.
Because I think that the administrative level is maybe a better direction to go in, as opposed to making the decisions by the teacher. And then one other question I had in this too, as you all know, I don't have a digital background. So in this case, if, for example, you all were if we were in a classroom and you were able to see child abuse appearing in my background, would that teacher or would be legally bound to report something that they suspect? Just kind of thinking through those different scenarios of what you might see in a student's background.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are, is there a legal requirement? And if there is, and if we do not do that, what happens? That would be my risk hat or whatever, audit hat, you know.
Attorney Martin.
So the answer is yes. If a teacher did see something that, because that statute is pretty broad, anyone who's above 18 years old who has reason to suspect have an obligation to report. So that would invoke responsibilities. I do think from a legal perspective, it's the safest thing to require a digital background. And for the types of exceptions, those would be, the way the language is written is actually not at the discretion of the teacher anyway, because it says school administration. And if there's an alternate background, that also has to be approved from school administration. So to be in alignment with what you voted on, and this is not dealing with the change yet, the only thing you would probably need to add in the third from the last bullet is just that if students desire to use a non-NCCA issued or non-NC Cyber provided background, then that should be in compliance with the student code of conduct. That would make it clear that we're still only talking about using something other than what NCC Cyber provides. So that takes care of kind of the first issue, making sure that, number one, you're concerned that there is a digital background to remove any potential obligations that we don't have to invite. That modification to the third from the last bullet, that if students desire to use any non-NC Cyber Academy issued background, continue on with that. That would solve that. If you all don't want to require the use of a digital background, then you would need to change what you voted and vote something different.
Could we still combine those two bullets, Attorney Martin? The third from the bottom, adding that to it just seems a little redundant.
Sure.
Okay. And is there any reason we would not explicitly say all students are required to use a digital background and then go on to talk about the options for that?
Sure.
Okay. I didn't know that required voting on again. I mean, I know that's what we voted on. So it's just, given we all have had to, we're unsure, I think that's probably the safest if we're prepared to move forward in that way.
It says the school will provide approved digital backgrounds for student use. But
yeah, I wouldn't interpret that as, I would interpret that as an option. So especially my 15-year-old would too. So does anybody have an issue with proceeding with requiring students to have a virtual background? Okay, sweet. So I think we're good. I think we'll combine those two bullets and add an explicit statement that virtual backgrounds are required. And then it can have this information about being provided, having it be at the discretion of, the administration, if you want to use a different background, and the code of conduct will move that up to combine it. Did I capture everything?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, that was really helpful. Okay. Anything else?
You will need a motion
Yes.
to do that.
Oh, okay, great. May I please have a motion to make the changes of explicitly stating students are required to use a digital background and combining the third bullet from the bottom with the third bullet from the top to have all of the information about virtual backgrounds together?
This is Audrey, so moved.
And this is DI second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Great, the motion carries. Thank you so much. Dr. Cooper, oh, sorry, Mr. Hill, is that everything you had? Okay,
Yes.
thanks. Thankfully, yes. All right, I'll pass it to Dr. Cooper. Thank you.
Good evening. Here tonight for a informational item, is that correct? I'm gonna make sure. Discussion item, excuse me. Every year we have to get board approval from for our summer remediation program that takes place at the end of the school year after all school days and teacher work days. This is for all students in grades 3 through 8 and high school courses that have an end of grade or end of course test. And it's for students who were not proficient after the first administration. Couple things different this year compared to previous years. This year, unlike last year, we do have biology as part of the summer remediation because there's not a standard setting. And third grade reading has been added to the equation for the summer remediation. There's another part of this so that y'all have all the information. This year, the state has allowed us to do retesting during the 10-day and 5-day test windows at the end of the year. So elementary and middle school students who are not proficient can go through our retesting, our second administration of the test before the last day of school, and our high school students in our EOC courses have the last 5 days to take the first administration and then take a retest. So with our retest, I've been working with the principals, and we are looking at setting a criteria of students who are not proficient who will come back and take a retest during the 5 and 10-day window. Students that take the retest during that time, whatever score is higher between the first administration and the retest, the score and the growth for that higher score will be counted into the school performance grade. So if a student gets a higher score on the retest, we accept that score. If they get a lower score on the retest, it goes back to the original first administration test. So with the summer program, any students that are not in the who do not attend for the retest that we kind of set a criteria for, or decide not to cannot attend during that retest assessment time during the last 10 and 5 days of school, will be eligible to come to the summer remediation. So all students that are non-proficient will be eligible to at least attend the summer remediation. The summer remediation this year, the state, because of everything, they are stating that you have to provide 8 days of instructional remediation to students before they can take the summer remediation test window. So we have placed that the students would be in the summer learning remediation program from May 29th to June 9th. And then we would assess students June 10th and 11th. And if that score is higher than their first administration score, then we get that score for proficiency. But if their first administration score was higher, we keep that score for proficiency. Students can either attend for a test, the retest during the window, or the summer remediation, but they can't do both. So students aren't going to be taking 3 chances. They don't have 3 chances. They do get still 2 chances, but it's just about, does the growth get added or used in the retest score if it's higher or not. So hopefully I explained that. It kind of needed to explain everything, so in case y'all had any questions. So I've started talking to the principals, and in the fall, obviously our high school students had the opportunity for the retest. So we learned some things about what we need to do, setting a criteria, because it's going to be difficult to test everyone a second time around in that 10 days. Because we want to make sure we're doing what's best for students, because we've also historically had a really good improvement by getting students in for the remediation time after the school year. So we don't want to take that away. So any questions
Dr. Cooper, I just had a question. I think you answered it as you were continuing to
Yeah.
speak. Students will not have 3 opportunities to
No.
take the test. That's not it. They will only have 2 opportunities, but there will be the, I guess, like more of the traditional second opportunity.
Yes.
And for certain students in which criteria will be established.
So yes, so what the criteria and all of the only reason for that is to open it up when we look at that retest during the 10 days. So we'd be looking at the last 2 days of school, being able to, because the one thing we'd have to do is we have to still ensure we meet all accommodations and have space. So with the students that are going to retest during that time, it's especially looking at criteria of, is it worth it? Could the student be proficient or improve their score and help for the school itself and for them without as much remediation as what we've also found where some students that maybe are farther behind, or maybe they just want the parents want the additional instructional time, can still take advantage of that.
Okay, so I guess there'll be like individual conversations about
Yeah.
each student
Yes, and talking to the parents.
and talking to the parents. And some parents might decide, hey, I think I want those 8 days of
Yes.
of remediation. Will this document be provided to parents for that explanation, or is this just something that's been prepared for us as board members?
This one for the summer program is just for you, for y'all's viewing to
Okay.
submit to DPI, because we have to get your approval to do that summer program. In the couple of beginning conversations we've had with the principals is we will have communication to go out to families. One conversation I've had, and we actually our Thursday meeting I have a meeting with the principals on Thursdays, is starting to identify students. And obviously elementary and middle school, they already have had the kids for half the year, so they already have started identifying which students maybe would be possible, candidates for the retest, and which ones the summer remediation would really help. High school, obviously they just started the semester, so that one's going to take some time, but we're going to have some separate communication that goes out, and trying to find out how many families would be so interested in doing that quick turnaround, because we're going to have to, it's all going to be fluid trying to get scores back and make sure we have the space and have staff and can make it all work. So, we're going to have to look at, it's going to have to be a smaller number of students that could do that retest, because we just won't be able to do it correctly if we just opened it up.
Right.
So it's kind of looking at trying to take advantage of everything. The other thing, just in case, because your question, a student could, let's say for reading, do the retest during the window, but math and or science they could take during the summer remediation. So it's not you have to do it just during the retest window, or you have to do them all in the summer remediation. There is a flexibility of, it's just, you can't take 2 of them. You can take one or the other.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That really does become a complex logistical issue when you're trying to think about getting students into that testing environment, and then making sure that everything is turned around on time. So
Yes, so that's one thing we'll be talking. We started talking about is scheduling and how we want to do that, and if we wanted to focus on one subject or certain grade level, like just putting everything on the table to figure out what we can do, so that because it's going to be a quick turnaround after high school is done with their first administration to do retesting. We have AP testing, we have CTE testing, and then trying to get retesting. So it's going to there's a lot more moving parts with this, but I think
Really are.
if we do this correctly, it's going to give our students the benefit, but it will give the school a benefit. Especially when we looked at how the students did in the fall and kind of setting a criteria and which students we got good return, kind of improvement, but knowing that some of there were students that would benefit going to the summer remediation who took the course in the fall.
So you actually kind of had a head start in terms of kind of knowing who might need to take advantage of the
who we should, and we talked, and Dr. V and I had a lot of conversations, and we've kind of shared what we kind of learned through the fall retesting of which who we need to target to do the retesting over who's going to get the more benefit from the summer remediation. Because we are seeing that one of the things we talked about, we don't want to lose that part, because the summer remediation, we were getting really great returns on, I think, improvement. And I think it's kind of helped carry some things forward from one year to the next.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting balance between, like, if you take Math 1 in the fall, you think you need summer remediation, but then you go through a whole semester, right? And I'm wondering about remembering all of that from the fall. I hadn't thought about that. Anyway, that's more of a comment. My question is, not actually, my second is a comment too. I think so the way they had it, like in Durham Public Schools, it was totally, there was no like encouragement to do it or not. It was a Google form. Will you allow your student to retest? Yes, no. I know you all are a little more intentional, but I wonder if you said, like, if you included things like you just said, Dr. Cooper, like we've seen great improvements, you know what I mean, for students that have taken it in the summer. This is worth your time. I don't know if there's any type of like marketing to the parents that, you know, you think the kids will most benefit from, or I don't know if you want to do that, because then if they don't improve, maybe you'd be liable. But anyway, I guess I'm just wondering if there's if you've also had the issue of knowing some kids could definitely improve, but then just not taking advantage of it.
Yeah, great question and comment. One of the things with the high school when we did for the fall for the retesting is reaching out to the families, or the staff really reached out and talked to them and encouraged them.
Okay.
And we got, for such a quick turnaround with the holiday break coming up, we had 27 students return. So that was a good, and when you look at the return on even the students who weren't proficient, did they improve? Yes. I mean, large majority of them showed improvement, no matter if they were proficient or not. One of the other parts is the conversation we were having was having the set communication of when our staff talk to these parents and reach out and talk to them, so that it's clear and it's the same message to everyone, because a lot of this is going to be one-on-one conversations, so that everyone hears the same thing and we're all clear on that. So that's another big thing that we've already discussed.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Any other questions or comments on this? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cooper. All right, looks like I'm substitute chairing the Finance Committee, so I'll go ahead and hand it over to Dr. Mullins.
Thank you. I was just going to speak very briefly regarding the condensed budget, which is the 2-page budget, and the balance sheet. And as you've seen in the audit report, the balance sheet, when you look at it, we have 3.9, a little over 3.9 million cash on hand in the bank, and then the 6.7 million is the Ameriprise Financial, the investments that the board agreed to do several months back. And when you combine those two assets, we have about 10.7 million but keep in mind, we're still going to have some December. I know this is a December report, but because of Christmas break and things, we're still going to have some expenditures from December. January is typically a heavier month in terms of expenses because of a lot of folks shut down for a week or two in December, and then we start getting all those invoices in. So at the end of the day, we have, according to the balance sheet, 10.7, but we would actually have a little bit less than that. It's closer to what the auditors have mentioned. I'm not sure that a part of the balance sheet also has captured all the salaries and the supplements. You know, our staff received their December supplements. And then the big report for the for the full board is the condensed budget report. And I was just going to speak as a reminder, when you look at the revenues, we have state revenues. And our state revenues, the majority of our revenue comes from PRC 036, which is the kids that we capture in our PMR 1 and PMR 5, those that have membership. And so Dr. Cooper and his team will verify PMR 5 next month. PMR 5 is ending, and they'll take some time to verify PMR 5. Then DPI will look at that number, compare it to PMR 1, and then we're going to see a current budget adjustment based on state revenues, student numbers. We should see an increase in our student counts. At this point, it shows that we have 42% of our funding remaining, which puts us right in line. We're about 60% of the way through this school year. So we're right in line with the percent remaining. And maybe I've not said this in the past for some of the board members. When you look at our current budget and then you look at the year-to-date activity, and it shows for state revenue, we've only pulled year-to-date activity at 10.6. The reason it doesn't go ahead and show 18.2 is because we don't get all the money in the bank. DPI holds the money. And then as we need the funding for payroll and other expenditures, they drop that money down. So we know we're going to get 18.2. We just haven't dropped it all down yet. And then all of our local revenue, the 5.9 million, again, that is projected revenue based on, as Mr. Hill mentioned, the funding formulas for each local LEA. And at this point, we've gotten about 75% remaining. We've gotten about 25% of our local revenue. And the reason being is typically getting the local revenue, their invoice for PMRs 1 through 10. And it takes a little while to verify. So when PMR 1 ends, it takes another 20 days to verify. Then it takes another week or two to invoice, and then it's going to take another week or two before we actually get the check. So we've completed the first 2 PMRs when it comes to the local revenue as far as receiving those funds. We have submitted PMR 3. We are receiving those funds from the local LEAs, and then Dr. Cooper just finalized PMR 4 this week. So when you look at that and you say we're halfway done with the school year and we don't have a 25% of our local revenue, that is simply because we're typically operating about 2 months behind. So we're right on track. We're 2 months in, and 2.5 months in on local revenue of a 12-month cycle. And we're 25%. And then the federal revenue is a lot like the state revenue. We submit grants. We are allotted funding. Those are set numbers based on the grants, and we've only drew down just over 600,000 from our federal revenue. We still have 1.3 million. We'll continue to draw down those dollars. So that 1.9 million is in escrow for us, and as we need it from DPI, we draw that down. And so, and I'm not sure I've mentioned that in the past, that we don't get 26.4 million in the bank, and Matter of fact, one year we had it was at Christmas, we had 2 payrolls and we had supplements, and then we had a big invoice from a learning management or a tool we were using. DPI called me and said, "This is more than you typically draw down. Why are you drawing this much money down?" And once we explained to them why we needed that money to be drawn down, "Oh yeah, we get it, we understand." They don't know, they can't keep up with all the charters and LEAs. So once you explain it, but they're keeping an eye on it. So, they're not just going to give us the 26.4 million. We pull that money down as we need it. So that's the revenues, a total of 26.4 million in revenues. You see what our expenses are. We have at this time. I wanted to, on the second page of the expenses, you'll see that a lot of our travel and transportation, technology, and testing and benchmark funding, it's still sitting there, 99%, 91%, 100%, still percent remaining. Well, the federal program's that little bit, 920, it's set aside federal program money, but we will spend that. Testing and benchmarks, we've only spent about 15% of our funding for testing and benchmarks, but we know that our big expenditures are going to come in May. And then with technology, we've set aside $371,000. We still have about $340,000. We're working with our vendors right now to secure student laptops and staff laptops if needed, because there is a shipment delay with chips on laptops. So we know that there's going to be some delays in laptop shipments, but we have 1,000. We have over 1,000 student devices that we can use for our new students this spring and for our upcoming enrollment for the 26-27 school year. And so with it being January, we will have our new student laptops for the 26-27 school year. And so we will spend that $340,000 on laptops for students, and then obviously the transportation and travel, we'll get that spent. And when you look at our total expenditures, we have about just under 55% of our expenses remaining. And so we're kind of right on track. We know again that at the next full board meeting, our percent remaining is going to go down somewhat significantly, I would think, because of extra expenses in late January, late December. And this report goes through late December, but we get invoices and didn't post some of these December expenses, don't post till January. So the board will see our 54% remaining. The board will see that number go down because, as I mentioned earlier, we're at a net zero budget this year. So we would expect that June 30th, there would only be a percentage or two left. And then as we do summer school and other activities in late June, then we will take into account those expenditures that would be paid in July, but it would go back to the June budget, the 25-26 budget. And one of the things that I did not mention real quick, when you go back up to state revenue on the condensed budget, you see test result bonus 048. That is $8,774 of some bonus monies. And this year we're going to have 7 teachers, which would be the most we've had since I've been here. And this is my 7th year. We're going to have 7 teachers to earn CTE credentialing bonuses and AP bonuses. So we're going to have almost $7,000 of that money used for teacher bonuses, where teachers have earned those credentialing bonuses and AP bonuses. So I just thought that was a good thing to mention, that 7 teachers are going to be rewarded for their efforts and their student achievement. And we, in the past, have only, like I said, almost $7,000 worth of bonus money. In the past, we've some years it's been only 2,000. We've used 3,000. We've used. We're going to almost use up all of our test result bonus money this year for those 7 teachers. So I appreciate their efforts and the leadership in the schools. Any questions on the budget or the balance sheet?
That was very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute. Dr. Mullins, thank you very much. Thank you for going over it last week and since just informational. I just quick question. Earlier when we saw the report from the auditor, there were some funds that was talking about the cash reserves in the balance sheet. Are they the reserves from last year?
Where are you seeing
That
that?
at the end of the year, whatever was the balance of 9 million something, is that what the breakup is here that we're looking on the balance sheet
Yes,
on
ma'am.
page 1 or page 2, page 1, I guess, right? So cash and is that accurate, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And on the consolidated budget, I'm just looking at it, and you just made, I'm trying to understand, this is my, for my understanding. You mentioned that the federal revenue or a state revenue, which we're drawing down each time as we need it, correct? And is it at the end of the year, do we get all of it? Like, for example, if the budgeted amount of the current budget is, say, total revenue, right, 26 million. Right now, there is percent remaining is 51% of the total revenue that is expected. So the end of the year, even if we do not spend, we would still be entitled, the school is entitled to still get that 25 grand, or is only whatever we spend?
So that's a great question. So the state revenue, that 18.3 million, we will spend every bit of that because whatever you do not spend, it reverts back to the state. So we will ensure that the 18.3 is spent. The local revenue, and so that money goes to DPI, and then we draw down the local revenues that go straight to our PNC bank account. And we do not have to spend all those revenues each year. That matter of fact, that fund balance that you see, majority of that funding is the local revenue that has not been spent, because we're going to spend our state revenue and our federal revenue first. State revenue first, and federal revenue. And then some of the federal revenues, you'll see, for example, improving teacher quality, 103. You'll see it up there twice. You'll see student support, 108, up there twice. Those are for 2 different years, because even though you may get, for example, improving teacher quality, the 20,394 was last year's carryover. So you can carry over in certain areas of federal revenue, you can carry over some of those revenues, but they still give you a deadline to spend it. And if you haven't spent it by the carryover deadlines, then you would revert that money back to federal as well. The 20,000 is from last school year. The 84,000 is for this year. The 108, you see the almost 18,000, that was from last school year. The 64,000 is for this year. So we will always spend last year's carryover first, and then we'll start drawing down this year's grant revenue from the federal. And so, but you do have, in some cases, you have 15 months to spend it. In some cases, you have 2 years and 3 months to spend it. So typically, a lot of your carryover has to be spent instead of June 30th. It has to be spent by the end of September. But they let us know those dates, and we watch. We know state revenue, June 30th, that money's got to be spent, and then we watch the federal revenues, and whatever that cutoff is based on the carryover dates, we make sure that's spent. So all of our state and federal monies are spent, so it's not reverted back. And then the majority of our fund balance is from the local revenues.
Okay. So there is a potential to have, if we are good in managing the rest of it, there's a potential to save, to add to the school fund another 6 for next year.
Well, those, that 6 million.
I mean, hypothetically.
Yeah, you could, but we have allocated that 6 million in expenses, which I hadn't spent it all yet.
Okay. Yeah. Just let's try to understand. So first we do state, and then federal, and then local.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm trying to. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Mullins.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have the consent agenda, which is the approval of the November board meeting minutes and the January 2026 operations reports. Operations report, singular. If anybody has any questions or changes, please bring them forward. Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
This is Jennifer. I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
This is Dee, I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great, motion carries. All right, Attorney Martin, I think I pass it to you to say all the letters and numbers to go into closed session.
All right, I suggest that someone makes a motion to go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 to discuss information that is confidential pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 115C-218.25 and 115C-39, as well as 143-318.11A3 to have confidential attorney-client privilege communications.
This is Dee, so moved.
This is Jennifer. I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries. We'll head into breakout. Closed session. Thanks.
Miss Daniels, it kicked me out. I don't know if you can see me.
It could be just one moment. Let me see.
I see the option to join breakout room. Will that put me back in it?
Yes, it should.
Okay, let me try that.
Ms. Daniels, are we live again? I'll take it. That's a yes. I usually get a little message that's streaming. Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, super.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Let's proceed with the HR hiring vote. Somebody could please make a motion to approve the slate. Oh, actually, Dr. Mullins, don't you usually say something?
Yes, ma'am. I was just asked that the board approve Wendy Baker for elementary school teacher and Leslie Mariano, high school mathematics intervention teacher.
This is Sue Thomas. I motion to approve.
This is Dee. I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. All right. Sounds like wonderful new hires. Okay, I believe that concludes a very full meeting, which I appreciate everybody sticking through. Does anybody have anything else? All right, now let's ask for a motion to adjourn.
Just Jennifer, I make the motion for adjournment.
This is Dee. I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, wonderful. Thank you all so much. Have a good rest of the night.
Have a good
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.